There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Heed my words, it is I.
You've waited all year to see heroes fall.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
Great moments are born.
These armors will change the world.
We really don't know what we're dealing with here, man.
Who will stand high upon the mountain?
I am not leading this fight as a matter of aesthetic pleasure.
What entity will triumph above all?
I'm the goddamn Batman!
This is the glorious Tournament of Victory.
All right, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Welcome to the 2022 Glorious Tournament of Victory Selection Show. And
Hello.
We are here. We've done it. We've arrived.
I'd take a second there. I'm trying to work two mouses, and or would it be mice in this particular case? What would it be?
Mice. Yeah.
Mice,
I'm working
yes.
two mice and two computers.
Nieces.
And this is the put together with leftover parts and pieces Glorious Tournament of Victory. I had to find an old open. The logo is a mashup of our new logo with an old GTOV logo that did not have a year on it. So here we are.
Doing the best you can. It's efficient. It's kind of like it's very green of us.
I gave myself a lot of time too. I started this at 6:15. So yeah, we're
This is our 9th, correct?
it beats me.
Oh, I have lost track. I used to have them all in my head, but
I thought, isn't it like the 11th? No, that can't be right.
No.
Well, no, because we've done extra tournaments like the 2020.
Right, but
ignominious
GTOV.
tournament of disgrace.
Yeah, that's the one.
The GTOV though is
Didn't everyone end up getting COVID and we never finished it?
No, we finished
that
it.
was the one that I got pissed off because it was just the voting was so stupid and we just said
Right.
all of it.
Well, we got it. We did the voting to the final four, and then we just randomly spun the wheel to choose a winner.
Right,
Right,
that's
the
what I did.
COVID wheel. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because the people were choosing incorrectly.
Yes.
So hopefully we've given them all
You
enough time.
fuckers, you know what you did.
Well,
And
I got
this
a
is
question.
a fair and
Mhm.
adjudicated democratic process.
Except when it goes
Hopefully-
the way we don't want it to.
Hopefully, the tournament doesn't go in a direction where Mother Russia invades it at some point. old GTOV participant Mother Russia.
Mother Russia's demanding that the GTOV not join NATO, so
It's asking for the denazification of the tournament, and I just don't understand. We had the Mensch on the Bench win one year. We can't. It's not a Nazi tournament.
Has Hitler ever been in the tournament in some form or another, or any kind of Nazi shit?
I think Andy had something in one of his portmanteau brackets.
Maybe I can't. There was one year where it was a bunch of hybrid abominations, and I don't think Hitler was in that, but I don't want to say he wasn't in one of mine, but I don't think it ever won a single matchup or anything. I think it was just sort of an asterisk.
We are a thing that exists on the internet, so I assure you that Hitler's probably been in it at some point.
I know we had. I know last year we had the QAnon plan that's totally happening.
Yeah, it's still
is.
happening, man.
Yeah.
Still is.
You got to just learn to be patient with these.
You got
things.
to do your research, Mike.
Right. Yeah.
They're playing 67D chess, Mike. You just gotta be on top of it.
All right.
Well.
I have a question. So we're doing the selection show a little bit early this year because Zach's going to Disney World for the Rams Super Bowl win.
I'm going to Disney World.
Are you going to Disney World or Disneyland?
World.
Well, I've been to Disneyland plenty of times, but I am going to Disney World.
First time going to Disney World?
First time going to Orlando for theme parks. Yeah, the only time I've flown into Orlando to drive to Cape Canaveral to board a cruise ship, but that's about it.
That'll be fun.
You managed to survive Interstate 4?
I was in a shuttle bus of some sort. I'm unaware of what was happening.
I lived in Florida for a year, and every time I went on Interstate 4 between basically Daytona Beach and Orlando, there was never a time in either direction where I did not see at least one accident. So not that long ago, I thought, I wonder how dangerous that road really is. So I looked up most dangerous highways in America, and sure enough, right there at the top, good old Interstate 4. So
I was knocked out from the humidity as soon as I opened the door outside. So I don't remember much between the humidity wall and getting on the boat.
Just
are we going to start now? Are we starting the tournament right after this, or are we going to? I think we should wait a little bit because we might get ahead of ourselves, and the thing will finish up before we even get to the actual basketball tournament.
We could let the first round run long.
Okay, we'll do that.
So, how many rounds would we have if we all have 8?
Oh God, you would ask.
Wouldn't it? It's 32, right?
Yeah, so it goes from we skip the round of 32, so it's 16, Elite 8, Final 4, Final. So 4 weeks.
Yeah, so 4 weeks from today. So that actually works out pretty good, right? When's the tournament?
I think it's 5 weeks. Because we'd have 8 teams in our bracket in each of our brackets, then down to 4.
This is the round of 32 we're starting.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So we'd have 8 teams in week 1, 4 teams in week 2, 2 teams in week 3, and then 1 team, but that's the final 4, and then the championship would be the week after. So that's 5.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks.
Okay, so if we start now, then it should run concurrently with the basketball tournament. They will catch up with us at some point.
Yeah, the championship result or the championship show, if you will, would be April 4th.
Oh, that's perfect then, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, that is the day. That is literally the day of the championship this year.
Well, there we go. Then this is correct.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So they've actually gotten it right, and they've lined up with us like they should have been doing for the last. Anybody listening?
I think it's more we've decided to.
No.
Since we pared down a tournament, and we're letting it go the full week this time instead of like having it during the week and having all these weird discussions.
Yeah, because we were
now this is the tournament in its purest form.
Yeah, when we there was a while there we would get to the point where the voting would start, say the day after the show. We'd have to end it on Friday and start a new round by Monday. And so this is going to run. So everybody gets a lot of time to vote here. You'll still all fuck it up, but that's all right too. We'll let it go and see what happens.
Full 7 days.
And speaking of
enjoy your democratic freedoms,
fucking things up. I see Gary's in the audience. Gary, I really wanted to put the Greg says fuck off, take a drink game in the tournament, but I thought that gave it kind of an unfair advantage because I could kind of manipulate that. So I decided to leave it out. It made it to the tournament, the conference tournaments, but it just couldn't get past all my other entries. So sorry about that.
It's all right. It has a special place in the show's lore.
Right. Yeah. So
well,
there you go.
How are we doing this, guys? How do you want to where are we at this year? Are we back in Arizona? Are we in the desert?
No, I think we've ditched all the COVID protocols and we can go back to Left Nut, Arkansas or somewhere.
Okay.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean we're in somewhere in the COVID soup of Florida. I imagine would be a good place to put it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to actually. I'll leave it to Greg to kind of hone in the fine details of where this year's taking place. Like again, it's all slapdash.
I always look up
in the trunk of a magnolia tree deep in the Everglades.
I always just look up weird city names and then I go, "Oh, that one looks fun." And the one year that I did all that, every town that I listed was actually real. It was a real place. There were some really strange names out there, but they're all real. They're legit.
We could honor the USFL by having it in Birmingham.
Oh my God, yes, right.
There it is. We did it. We
did
it. You know what? Let's do the whole thing in Birmingham, except for the final round, which will be in Canton. What do you guys think?
That's fine.
I think we should do the final round's in Flin Flon, Manitoba.
Okay, even better. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to give some love to the Canadians.
So basically, we're going to put them as far south as we can and make them go really, really far north. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
they can play in all elements.
Yeah, true test of a champion.
Yeah, and as I'm reading the comments on our thing, Dennis makes a great point. Let's just make an announcement right here. We joked about Mother Russia. We have banned Mother Russia from all GTOV entries, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Mother Russia has been banned. They're under sanctions.
Yeah, that's our sanction.
I have heard that.
This is the one that will push Putin over the edge.
I have heard that Vladimir Putin has announced the creation of the glorious tournament of Russian victory in response, and so they're going to be doing their own thing over there. Putin wins.
I have the winner. I have the winner. Breaking news here: the glorious tournament of Russian victory. The winner is. Let me just look this over. Vladimir Putin. Astounding! Wow.
One shocker.
Good predicted.
What a run he just made.
Maybe
they'll be more
in
upset
the
about us.
Autocrat World Cup. He'll play
Right.
the winner of the North Korean Glorious Tournament of Victory, which is again
Already-
for the 200th year in a row, Kim Jong Un. So,
Save you
one
all
under a
that time
rainbow,
trouble.
that man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Russians are going to be more upset about us banning them from competition than they were about being kicked out of the World Cup. So that's it's important stuff. You got, but you know what? You got to make a stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kicked out of FIFA, kicked out of the Hockey Federation, and now the GTOV. So
yeah. So
suck it, Putin.
everybody was waiting to see where we would weigh in on this, and of course, obviously, we were going to kick them out. I mean, there was no other way to go. It was
the Russian conference tournament was having its tournament, and we, as the GTOV, said, "Hey, Russian conference tournament, go fuck yourselves."
right.
Yeah.
Then they invaded us, and we surrendered.
No, we put up more of a fight than that.
Yeah, we did. They got to find us first. But yeah, so anyway, so here we are. Who wants to? Are we ready to do this, or what are we doing here?
Let's go.
Who wants?
I don't have any. I don't have any outstanding conference tournaments that need to be resolved. I think we're all good.
No plans for me. I'm good.
I'm good.
As long as one of us doesn't step on each other's toes, which is probably bound to happen, since we're all using the same list.
Generally,
I have plenty of backups though, so we're good.
Well, I have no backups, so but I also was very very selective.
Dangerously.
I told you guys, I texted you guys what I was using from the
Yes.
Discord, and thank you, by the way, to all the base historians who have plumbed the internet high and low to provide
specifically Dennis and Cosmic for your contributions to the Discord and the thread.
Yeah,
Oh my
sure.
god, that thread or that post Cosmic put up on the thread. I'm flattered and impressed as hell at the same time, because that not only was he citing stuff that we had mentioned over the past year, he was like, it's 20 minutes into episode number 553 or whatever.
Yeah.
Timestamp. and I think I
Quite
showed you guys in the text, I don't remember 90% of that stuff. I mean,
Well, I started writing stuff down last year. I think I just opened up like a blank text document on my screen, and then if I came up with an idea, I just typed it out.
I have one that I wrote down. I didn't know what it was. I thought I'd ask you guys. It just says Duke Slater, and I'm thinking, all right, that I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I think that's a real person.
I thought so too, but I don't remember why I wrote it down. But I remember I had said GTOV Duke Slater. So if anybody knows what the hell that means, feel free to let us know.
Oh, Duke Slater. He was an old timey football player.
Was he when we were doing the Hall of Fame thing last week?
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
I wonder what he did that made him interesting enough to me to put him down in the potential.
It was just such an old timey name that you're like, that can't.
Yeah. We were going through old timey football players, and like Duke Slater, you're just like, oh, that's an awesome name.
The just to give you an idea of how impressed I am by Cosmic, I couldn't remember what I said last week, or we were talking about last week. And this was going back like 25 episodes, 50 episodes ago, and going, yeah, it was 20 minutes into this show. So God bless you, man. I mean, that's just that's amazing.
All right. Who won last year? What's the
Legend of Cocaine Bear?
Legend of Cocaine Bear, yes.
Yeah, that was my fourth title, believe it or not. I have like I'm the San Francisco 49ers of the GTOV right now.
I believe I have two, and they're both by the same entry in the first 2 years. So I'm in a drought.
I've got two. I've got Mensch on the bench and Cosmic Turtle.
And Andy's got the Teddy Roosevelt Astride of War Orca. How can I remember that? I can't remember a show we did 3 weeks ago.
No, I think Andy. I think Andy would have two then, also because that would.
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't remember. All I know is the Orca. I don't know what other one won.
As
maybe
usual,
it is
well-oiled machine.
Just one, because then that would make it 9 tournaments.
I think I've made several finals, like 1950s TV Dad. I think had a strong loss.
Great
I
answer,
think
by the way.
last year.
Cleve Jack win one? Yeah, Cleve Jack won.
This is something that somebody should have written down, and I'm sure
we've actually got, except for this year, we've got there's a post in the thread on the boards that goes through the entire history. But I know mine were Legend of Cocaine Bear, Chimp Mariachi Band, Cleve Jack, and I think Florida Man. So, and Florida Man, it almost seems as unfair as the goddamn Batman was. So those are my four. And then I don't remember anybody else's because I don't care.
Hey, Gary, I sent you a private message on the board for the Discord if you want to join it. So, Who's going first?
Yeah, who's going first?
I'll go.
All right. Wait, Mike, before we start, I have an announcement to make too. My region is no longer the what it means to be a Cleveland Brown region. It is now the ripped from the headlines region. So just wanted to get that into it. Now we'll do that again and get Mike started properly here. Here we go.
Sentinel Prime Memorial Region of awesomeness as always, mostly because I don't feel like coming up with a new name. I guess we're just going to start at number 8, huh?
Yep.
And just go up?
Yep.
All right. So, number 8, very, very timely, very, has something to do with a sporting event that was very recent, very dear to all of our hearts. Bengals QB legend, Ken Anderson.
Ooh, good call. Nice.
Number 8, the true GOAT, surefire Hall of Famer. And quite frankly, the greatest mustache to ever grace the National Football League. So,
yeah.
Number 8, Bengals QB legend, Ken Anderson.
Well, hold on. I got a little something for that. Just give me 1 second here. Here we go. All right.
Sticking with the NFL at number 7, we got the Los Angeles Football Chargers Plasma Ball. You might all recall this from a primetime game this past season where apparently the Los Angeles Chargers all gathered around a plasma ball that you can buy at Spencer's Gifts for around $30.
Yeah. I was gonna say that when SoFi is ready for Chargers games, they install a temporary pop-up Spencer's Gifts. Just for Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers Plasma Ball is number 7 because, good God, was that hilarious. Moving on, number 6, sticking with sports, Deep Hurting Smashville. This refers to that very uncomfortable feeling you get looking at the Nashville Predators Smashville Stadium Series winter classic jerseys.
Wasn't that an admiral description?
Deep hurting? Deep hurting, where it's upsetting on a deep level you can't truly explain.
I like it.
Which, by the way, those jerseys made their debuts over the weekend in the Stadium Series, and I was unaware that they were going to wear yellow helmets, and it made it all the worse.
That whole game looked so stupid. The giant logos on the helmets were God.
No, those were awful. Yeah.
Coming in at number 5 from the always well represented Weird Canadian Prairie Conference.
Right.
We've got Saskatoon School Moose.
Ooh.
Here's a link. Here is a link. So this occurred back in November of 2021. A moose just walked through a window into a classroom in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And if you follow that link, you can see in the first picture is the moose just sitting down and chilling in the middle of the classroom.
Probably nice and warm in there.
Probably. You ever been to Saskatchewan in November? I'd want to get inside too.
Well, you know those moose, they're a foul disposition those animals have. But
number 4, Snorlax Pokemon Go LAPD officer.
Oh my God.
Oh, I remember this now.
The LAPD officers who ignored a call to play Pokemon Go.
Ignored a burglary.
Ignored a burglary, yes.
Priorities.
So that's number 4. Number 3, another Canadian entry in reference to the quote-unquote Freedom Convoy.
Oh,
We've got Ram Ranch, Anthem of Anti-Convoy Resistance.
Wait, what's that?
I don't know if any of you guys know what this is. I've provided a CBC article to give some background. There is a gay cowboy rock song called Ram Ranch that is explicitly about gay cowboy sex, and it was used by anti-convoy people to disrupt the convoy in Ottawa.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Very nice.
So, yes, Ram Ranch, anthem of the anti-convoy resistance.
All right.
Number 2, sticking with
I just looked up the lyrics and oh my God.
right? Right? It's so great when straight people discover Ram Ranch.
Stay tuned. Andy will give us a dramatic reading of the lyrics right after the GTOV selection show.
So, okay, number 2, sticking with my home country and my favorite sport, we've got a Trailer Park Boys entry at number 2, Ricky LaFleur, Arizona Coyotes landlord.
I think he's the perfect choice, honestly.
And here is a tweet to, here's a link to a tweet to really give you a visual of what that's about. Ricky LaFleur.
Sorry.
Ricky LaFleur, Arizona Coyotes landlord. Good. And finally, to wrap up the Sentinel Prime Memorial Region of Excellence or Awesomeness or whatever I named this thing, number 1, in reference to current events, Ukrainian sunflower grandma.
Yeah.
Right.
He's great.
The old Ukrainian lady who gave sunflower seeds to Russian soldiers, saying, "When you die, there'll be sunflowers."
Yeah, I love that. That is awesome.
So yeah, that's number 1. A late entry because between our last show and before last show, when I wrote up my final ballot and this show, some shit went down in the world, and I need to throw one in there for that.
You know, the lesson to be taken away from this is that the Ukrainians are some badass people.
For anyone curious, the entry of mine that got bumped out, this would have been number 9, the Saskatoon Blues Plastic Zombie.
Wow, that's too bad.
And what that is at some point during the 70s, the St. Louis Blues almost moved to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And a mall in Saskatoon put up they just dragged out some random mannequin with this dead looking face and put a Saskatoon Blues jersey on him to celebrate. And images are floating online, and it's truly horrific. But unfortunately, he's not going to make the tournament because Ukrainian sunflower grandma knocked him out. So
we really need to have the glorious National Invitational Tournament of something, because there's a lot of good stuff that just doesn't make the final, the big show. But yeah, nobody does it like Saskatoon, man. I mean, I'm just saying, Is that it?
Yeah. If anyone is curious,
we got to get your matchups, right?
Oh yeah. First, if anyone's curious, let me just drop this in. This is the Saskatoon Blues Plastic Zombie. Unfortunately, not participating, but. So, for the way that this thing's going to shake down, number 8, Bengals QB legend Ken Anderson will take on Ukrainian sunflower grandma.
Oh, sorry, Ken.
No contest.
Yeah.
Chargers Plasma Ball are going to take on Ricky LaFleur, Arizona Coyotes landlord.
Wow, that's just got some real symmetry there, I think.
Yeah.
No, really. It really does. Deep Hurting Smashville will take on Ram Ranch, anthem of anti-convoy resistance.
Symmetry there too. Smashville versus that song. I mean, come on.
Saskatoon School Moose will be taking on Snorlax Pokemon Go LAPD officer. So
there's some really serious matchups in there. I mean, I'm always a fan of the animals, so I've got to go with the moose. But that Sunflower Granny's gonna be tough to beat, man.
Oh, I remembered Andy's other victor. Wasn't it Turkey Fucker? Walmart Turkey Fucker?
No, he lost in a crazy. That was what pissed me off. He lost in an upset to something that had no business beating him last year. I think it was last year, right?
Oh, right.
That wasn't an ignominious tournament of victory. Was that Glorious tournament?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what got us all fired up was the turkey. No, maybe it was the other one. I don't know.
Oh, who cares? Anyway. But anyway, yeah. So that is my bracket 1 through 8.
All righty. Who's next?
I can go unless Zach is raring to go.
Yeah, no, I can go too.
Well,
Let's
figure it
go
out.
ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
All right, folks. As always, the goddamn Batman Memorial Region, named after the one and only two-time GTOV champion, number retired to the rafters. Movie coming out this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to see it on Wednesday. That'll be
Cool.
That'll be awesome. All right, so I will say more so than any of my regions in the past, this one is heavily influenced by the suggestions that we had. Normally, I try to go a little off book, but I figured somebody's compiling a list. We might as well use it. So my number 8 seed coming out of the strange theme park food region is the Universal Studios Japan's Jaws dog. Jaws dog, which if you look at the picture there, it looks like a breaded shark choking down a wiener.
Oh,
So-
Look,
my.
That's sexual. I don't care what anyone says.
No. He's just
I will
eating a
share
hot
this.
dog, Mike. What's sexual
That
about eating a hot dog? I don't.
sucking a dick.
So
We're talking
the Jaws.
People know what we're talking about.
Everything's fair game.
Yes,
There he is.
the Jaws dog. There he is.
That's troubling.
Yeah, that's our number 8. Number 7, a big internet meme that finally came to fruition, a viral internet thread, if you will, resulted in a giant battle to determine the fate of our universe. And at the end of it stood tall one man, the one true Josh. If you
What?
remember, there was some Joshes on Twitter who were like calling out each other. And then they all made a joke like, oh, we should all meet up in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska and have a battle. And the
Wow.
winner would be the one true Josh. And so the winner of that battle is the one true Josh.
How did he win? Was it like a GTOV type thing? Did they have a battle?
They showed up with like pool noodles and other,
Nice.
unassuming weapons.
Is there video of
that's,
this fight? I have to see it now.
I think somebody recorded it somewhere.
I mean, come on. If you went to all that trouble and then you didn't bother to record it, what the fuck is the matter with you?
No, I agree.
All right. Okay.
Number 6. This is something that was suggested, but I also grabbed it because I thought I have run into this myself, and these are terrifying creatures. Number 6 seed, the golf course guardian goose.
Oh, yeah.
Those are bastards.
Yes, if
Speaking
you've
of
ever
a foul disposition, I think
if you've ever been on a golf course,
on a moose, yeah.
if you've ever been on a golf course, plenty of water hazards, lakes where waterfowl reside. And do they give a goddamn that you were there trying to hit a golf ball? Not even in the slightest. In fact, you're ruining their day by coming to where they live.
Yep.
So they're out there to make sure that you know it, and don't you dare hit a ball near them, or threaten them with your own. You have a golf club, a metal weapon in your hand. They don't give a damn. They're going to come straight after you.
And then they're going to
Bastards.
kick your ass even with you and your metal weapon. They're
Exactly.
just a foul-tempered beast is the Canadian goose. Just horrible animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's number 6. Number 5. I don't know if this goes into the Florida conference or not, but it did happen in Florida. Remember the great manufactured gas crisis of this year?
For like a week.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Where people were like, "Oh no, we're going to run out of gas," so everyone went to the gas station and started filling up any container they could. Plastic bags,
Right. Yeah.
laundry bins. But one man used his intellect above the rest. This is the gas sock.
Well, he put in he tried to take gas with him with a sock.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, socks being the waterproof things that they
He
are.
filled the sock up with gas. Oh, God bless Florida.
It's got more than its fair share of entries in this, I'm thinking at this point. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Its primary export is chaos.
Yeah. And
Well,
look,
somebody's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
and here's another kind of peek behind the curtain. if we had waited to do this tournament after my trip to Orlando, my idea was going to be I was going to take notes of people I saw in Orlando in the theme parks, which again is a treasure trove of people watching.
You would have done nothing else.
Well, that's what I mean. I would have made a full bracket of people that I found at Walt Disney World.
Well, do that anyway.
Yeah, I probably should. The people that have the matching shirts, stroller people. It's just, there's
stroller people not make this thing.
No,
well, maybe it has. We don't know yet.
The fucking
so yes. Anyway, number 5, the gas sock. Which a great receptacle to carry around gasoline. Number 4, I changed some of these around. Okay, number 4, the pizza dough dumpster blob.
Ooh, nice. I was looking at that one.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this?
So I believe it was in Illinois, correct, Andy?
I think so. I think it was a Chicago pizza place or something, but it was
a Domino's.
They
threw away. They put some dough that they weren't using. They put it in the dumpster, and based on some sort of natural, biotic science, the dough continued to expand and overtook the dumpster hole, and so the sentient pizza dough blob overcame the dumpster that it was thrown away into. Become not unlike the thing,
it's pretty impressive.
Or the blob.
Well, this didn't happen in Florida.
No.
Wow.
God, I'm looking at it right now. I looked at Jesus. That's insane.
Exactly.
That's awesome. It reminds me of like an old early 90s Ninja Turtles toy or something like.
No, this sounds like a Ninja Turtles episode. Like the pizza dough went bad and became a monster, and the turtles had to defeat it.
God, it's so gross.
Well, it reminds me of just you saying that there was a Ninja Turtles episode where the aliens were like bread on the pizza. Do you remember this?
They're meatballs.
Eggs.
Oh wait, Dennis is chiming in and says it was in Louisiana. Okay, that's better because that something like that can't happen in the Midwest. I mean, come on.
Well, imagine the humidity was a big part in the dough getting out of control. I mean,
yes. But for now, we stray away from the Florida conference for just a second here to go to outer space. Now, we go to the Star Wars region, and one of my favorite background characters that's been introduced in the Disney era. He was integral in the famed Game of Sabacc, in which Han Solo and Lando Calrissian first met and won the Millennium Falcon over. He's a deadly man, just imposing with his frame. His name is Therm Scissorpunch.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Where if you click the link there, you will see he is a male Nephrin from the planet Nepotus, and he is a giant lobster man.
I like it.
Gee, his name is Scissor Punch, and he's got lobster claws for hands.
Mm-hmm. Now he has enhanced fighting prowess because
it's not just an odd coincidence then.
No, he has a sharpened shank implanted in his claw, so that makes him extra dangerous.
Do you really need the sharpened shank if you have lobster claw hands?
No, but it can't hurt.
Therm Scissor Punch, yes, you do.
Does he descend from the esteemed Scissor Punch family?
Hey man, Scissor Punch family, they're royalty on that planet. Like the Kennedys. Yeah. They're not really royalty, but they might as well be.
Yes. Number 3 seed Therm Scissor Punch.
All right. Just the name alone is going to get some serious run, I think.
Exactly. He was one of the few characters that was revealed ahead of Solo, a Star Wars story. And it was like, what the hell? He looks like he's a lobster.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Therm. What the hell is this? And I love the guy. He's amazing.
Hold on. I
look forward to its own solo standalone movie.
Apparently, we have pissed off the Russians. I have to block a Russian bot trying to get into our chat here.
Putin is strong.
No. All right. Number 2. This is one that I hope nobody grabbed, but one of my favorite things that happened over the last year. This is of the Florida Man variety. He is Florida Man Trash Gator Wrangler. Now you'll remember this man is the guy who trapped an alligator in his yard using his garbage can.
Yeah, yeah. Remember
Single-handedly.
that? By himself. Yeah,
That was awesome.
that dude's gonna be tough to beat, man.
Florida Man Trash Gator Wrangler.
While I'm thinking about this, before I forget to say it throughout the rest of the show, I will find as many pictures and GIFs and all the other stuff I can of this stuff to add it to, I guess, on the boards, and I've tried to figure out a way to put it on Twitter. I don't know, but we'll try to, so you'll have visualization of all this, because I don't have enough hands to keep up with the links and all the other shit that I'm trying to do here. So we'll
get
do
it.
that.
We'll get it put. I have some images for mine. So
Okay, cool. All right.
So now, the last entry, which you guys should know what's coming for my number one seed here. He came into our hearts this year. He is an evil man, done terrible things, but yet even our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ found a way to absolve him of his sins and bring him to tears. Ladies and gentlemen, born again Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one. God,
Yeah,
that was
that
such
was-
a good one.
That was a
Beautiful.
crossover. I wanted that one, and Zach had already drafted him into service. So.
If we forgot what he looked like, here's the image in
Let me
the.
see if I can show this up real quick.
I still think it was. I still thought it was Jesus wearing khakis.
I'm going to put that one up. Hold on. Sure.
Again, it's a mural somewhere, I believe, Los Angeles, with a Thanos on his knees, Infinity Gauntlet removed by Jesus, who has his hand on his forehead, saying, "I forgive you, my child."
The countless billions Thanos has killed, all washed away.
Yep, just like that.
Just like
Gotta
that.
ask nicely. That's all. All right, what's your matchup, Zach?
All right, so that would mean the matchups are number one seed, Born Again Thanos, will be taking on a true abomination in the Jaws dog.
Sorry, Jaws dog.
I'm voting for the Jaws dog.
I'm going to say it right now, just so all of you listening understand this. If that Jaws dog beats Born Again Thanos, I'm canceling the fucking tournament right then and there. That's it. End of story.
Yeah, that's the troll vote.
Yeah.
I believe in the Jaws dog.
All right, the next matchup will be number two seed, Florida Man Trash Gator Wrangler, taking on the one true Josh.
First off, Florida Man Trash Gator Wrangler versus Born Again Thanos is the only matchup that will be legitimate coming out of this bracket. It has to be 1 versus 2. That's end of the story.
The number three seed is our guy Therm Scissor Punch.
Well, that's pretty good too, though.
And he will be taking on Golf Course Guardian Goose.
Oh,
That's a fine matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just imagining the goose honking away as Scissor Punch tries to get him in his pincers.
And then the number four seed might be a sneaky number four seed, the Pizza Dough Dumpster Blob, taking on Gas Sock.
Oh,
Ooh, that's good. I'm not saying that one's gonna upset anyone, but I am saying I'm interested in sitting down and watching it. So
Yeah. That's going to be one of those matchups where you're going to, like, the whole tournament, you're going to be talking about it the rest of the way through. Like, it's still not as good as that matchup was.
And
All right.
that's the goddamn Batman Memorial region.
All right. Andy says he's got the number 1 seed overall that's going to beat everything. So I'll go next because I want to save that for last.
okay. Go right ahead.
So we'll move on to the Rip from the Headlines region here. And I'll do my bracket. Whoop, wrong gong. Anyway. Okay. Here we go. From the coaches acting like idiots, college football coaches acting like idiots conference, we have Brian Kelly's sudden Southern accent.
Oh my god!
Oh, nice.
Well, y'all, I'm just here to play some football.
My favorite thing that happened to Brian Kelly was just the dancing he did with that recruit who then chose Alabama.
I was torn between those two, and I thought I can't have two Brian Kellys. I didn't want to combine it into one entry, so I went with the southern accent instead. Because I don't know, they were both pretty cringy. But yeah, so Brian Kelly's southern accent at number 8. Number 7.
Mike, no.
What do we do?
Well, my avatar.
Mike has chosen the form of the Jaws dog.
He's already trying to influence the vote in the tournament. See, look at this.
See, this is the kind of disinformation campaign that we can't allow.
Right.
Oh boy.
Where are we at? Number 7 on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something I don't. This is one of the ones from the Discord, and I don't remember if this happened or we just made it up. But either way, I thought it was pretty damn good. A Jehovah's Witness swap meet. Does anybody remember if that was real or was that something that came out of the show? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, it sounds like it would be very interesting. So number 7, Jehovah's Witness swap meet.
What would they do if they weren't trying to convert everyone?
Well, dude, I don't know. I'm not even sure that it might be like a swap meet, like where they have like a flea market, or it might be like something weird and sexual. I really don't know. I was hoping someone could explain it, but I like the sounds of it. It looked good on a T-shirt, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going with it.
Let it ride.
Yeah, number 6 from the Bass Conference right here at home. Andy's sad Sims characters, which you just go to our Twitter feed, check it out. They're awesome.
Andy is a malevolent god.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
They get what they deserve. one way or another.
Disgusting creatures should know their place. Yeah.
Well, the one lives. God, they crack me up just thinking about him. The one lives like in a 1-room apartment, and I forget what was the rest of it. Like he played violin, or was that the guy in the park?
That was the guy in the park who played violin for his sole income. Was playing violin for people. The other one was a hot dog, a guy in a hot dog suit who stares at balloons all day and just kind of waits to die. You know? Not a very eventful thing, but yeah.
No, but perfect for the glorious tournament of victory. Number 5 from the Aaron Rodgers is really weird conference. Butthole tanning. Butthole tanning at number 5.
Wasn't there a longer?
You could have chosen Aaron. You could have chosen the butthole tanning. You could have chosen Aaron Rodgers' foot.
Right.
You could have chose just the word in quotations immunized. So many things that
this was the one that kind of won the whole thing. So
the term Andy's looking for is perineal tanning.
There you go.
All right. I like butthole tanning. I was going to say asshole tanning, but I thought, well, that I can't get that past like some of the censors. So, well, man, number 4.
Yeah.
From the things that are real but really aren't conference, Bishop Sycamore High School.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one where I wanted it so bad, but you'd already called it by the time that I went to go make the list. So props to you. It's a great entry. I'm so glad we had that story in our lives.
Yeah, great. One of the true great sports stories of the modern era. Just a complete fraud. Scammed everyone.
Somebody put in the Discord later too that like it's still not real. And I guess they'd done something else that just didn't quite make national news.
Yeah. No, they followed up with something later. I just don't remember what it was. But yeah.
All right. So there you go. Number 4, Bishop Sycamore High School, or not a high school, not really a high school, whatever you want to call it. At number
Bishop
3,
Sycamore Technical College.
Right. At number 3 from the former First Ladies Conference, one of my I don't know.
Oh God. No.
Yeah.
Teaming up with the Jaws dog herself.
Right. Everybody knows where this is headed already.
Oh, no.
Nancy Reagan, Throat Goat. There you go. Number 3. I just want to say again, God bless everybody in the Discord thread and on the boards for all these wonderful entries. I would not. The only one I can take credit for, I think, is Andy's sad Sim characters. Everything else I got from you guys, so thanks for that.
Oh my God.
I hate that we live in a world that we know this information. That's all.
I remember we talked about it on the show. How did it even come out? Was it like
it was in a book?
It was a book?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it was in a memoir.
What happened was Ben Shapiro's sister
That's right.
That's
yeah.
right.
tried to slut shame Madonna,
Right.
comparing like Madonna at 64 to Nancy Reagan at 64, which then prompted someone to go through Nancy Reagan's biography and point out that she apparently gave like the best fucking head while she was an actress in Hollywood.
Well, you know, dude, with that face, she kind of had to. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Okay. At number
We're
2,
terrible people, and I'm sorry that we've done this to the world.
I can't decide if this is like the most like off the rails GTOV ever or possibly the greatest ever. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out as it goes along, I suppose. At number 2 from the Mighty Chimp Conference, and I cannot find the gift that I had of him originally, but we found him. I put it in our text thread, and I said, I don't know what to call this guy, but he's got to be in the tournament, and you guys named him Florida Chimp. So Florida Chimp at number 2.
Kind of a combining of worlds there.
Yeah. So the Chimp Conference coming in strong with, and there was another one too, raccoon tossing chimps, but they couldn't get past Florida Chimp in the Chimp Conference final. And finally,
The champion chimp conference.
something like that. I don't know.
All right.
Finally, at number 1, this is a guy who, as of last count, had shot down 10 Russian jet fighters. And that
Hell
was
yeah.
days ago. All right. So today it's probably up to 25 or 30. We're talking about the one, the only, the number 1 seed in the Rip from the Headlines region, the Ghost of Kiev. Number 1 seed.
I love it. I love it.
Very good.
Goes to Kiev.
Yeah.
Slava Ukraine.
So in a just world, the final will be the Ghost of Kiev versus Sunflower Granny. And then you know what? If that happens, we're just going to call it a time. That'll be it.
I say that's the winner is
Oh,
Ukraine.
and
Yeah.
before we get too far, I just made the mistake. As we've all learned over the past week in the larger world, it is not Kiev anymore.
Kyiv.
Kyiv.
Yeah, Kyiv.
Kyiv.
But you know what? It's still called Chicken Kiev here, and we say France.
Well,
they say
right.
France, so fuck 'em. It's Kiev.
According to the people that make up these rules for a living, it is Chicken Kiev, but the city is now called Kyiv.
So what's the chicken named after now?
What we used to call Kiev.
Oh, fuck off. Take a drink, boys. So there you go. That's the Rip from the Headlines region. The matchups will be number 8 seed Brian Kelly's sudden Southern accent versus number 1 seed the Ghost of Kiev. Number 2 seed Florida Chimp taking on a Jehovah's Witness swap meet. Number
I think
3,
that's something you might find at a Jehovah's Witness swap meet. Is it?
Yeah.
number 3 seed Nancy Reagan Throat Goat taking on Andy's Sad Sims character.
Oh no.
Oh, boy. Won't make them that sad anymore.
Cheer up, boys.
Where am I at? Number 4 seed Bishop Sycamore taking on number 5 Butthole Tanning. And there you go. That is the Rip from the Headlines region in the glorious tournament of victory.
Very nice.
All right, Andy, it's all you.
Okay, so the peanut butter is good conference or bracket, I guess, region or whatever it is. Okay, number 8 from the obnoxious commercial conference is Matt Damon in space shilling jizz coin.
I hate this so much.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I hate this stupid Matt Damon commercial.
Fortune favors the bold.
Where he's like, yeah.
No, that's not even what he says.
For the
It says
brave.
fortune favors the brave, which is
Whatever.
wrong.
Well,
I know supposedly like you can translate it either way going back ancient times, but
Yeah.
I don't care. No one says it that way. Stupid Matt Damon.
Well, he's in space and he's in the tournament, so look out, world.
He's shilling jizz coin.
Yep. Invest. Number 7 from the Rural Diabetes Conference.
Oh.
It is, and from the Discord is Cowboy Ronald McDonald.
I almost went with that one. I didn't know that you had
Me
him.
too.
so-
Yeah, that's a good one.
call. Yeah.
I'm going to paste, as I have images for them, I'll paste them in the private chat if you want for your own reference. Number 6 from the Creepy Chimp Conference. It is 1950s. Lewd 1950s chimp pornographer, and in the chat there's a link if you want to share that. I just found this the other day and I had to include it.
I mean, it's only a right entry.
God.
It's a chimpanzee with a camera photographing two scantily clad women in what appears to be the 1950s. So.
All right, hold on. We've got it. Yeah, you got to see this one, folks. This is a.
My fucking God.
It's a new conference.
It's
somewhat
I'm
unexplored conference.
The Perv Chimp conference.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's the greatest GTOV ever at this point. I think. There you go. There it is.
Pervert, lewd 1950s chimp pornographer. There. So there you go. Yes, Dennis. Jizzcoin is still worth more than the ruble. Yeah.
That's true. Yes.
They're actually quite true.
Yes, anything is worth more than the ruble.
I could literally go create a currency this afternoon, and it would be worth more than the ruble.
The paper we've written down our entries on, which has no value at all to anyone, is worth more than a ruble at this point.
Where are we at? Number 5. Number 5. This one is a little abstract, but I kind of wanted to include. It is the North Korean equivalent of Godzilla. Pulgasari is his name.
Oh, right, the one that they forced filmmakers to make at gunpoint.
Yes, they held a filmmaker wife hostage and made him make this shit Godzilla equivalent. God. And that's Pulgasari. And the story is it's worth reading into. It's a fascinating little tale. But basically, it's one of those not so subtle messages about how tyranny is bad and North Korea sucks. But the people that were making it were able to make the message so fairly subtle that I guess they didn't execute him. So let's see. So that was number 5. Number 4, this is in recent news, and I had to kind of amend it because of new information. But it is Hanks the Tanks, the obese bear trio that has been terrorizing dumpsters and trash cans in California. Zach, was there an update? Did they confirm it was 3 bears or multiple bears?
Yeah, it is 3 quite rotund black bears in Northern California. Yeah, indeed.
Okay, number 3. This is relatively. It has some, I guess, modern or not modern, but like in the news context. It is number 3. Unexploded, unstable Russian ordnance. Just like a pile of shitty old Russian ordnance.
Soviet ordnance that just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that they're still trying to trot out and use now, and it's just kind of unstable, shitty CCCP tagged bombs and garbage. So it's just kind of in an unstable pile. That is number 3. Number 2, and I'm curious to see how far this one goes, if it goes far at all. It is the epoxy sealed hot dog. It has been sealed in epoxy, this like resin block, for over a year, I believe, and it's going strong. And there's a link for it if you want to share it. It is not changed in the slightest.
Wow. That's impressive.
And I am hoping that it has a little bit of a run in it because it's an epoxy sealed hot dog. It's very unique, and there's a YouTube channel you can stream it. It's just.
Of course,
and it's rotated in a circle. They put birthday hats on it on its birthday. It's very worthwhile to look into.
Here, let me put them up here real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah. There you go.
That thing's been in there for how long?
Not sure. Let's see, epoxy hot dog. Let's see, the live stream here.
We as the human race have too much time on our hands.
Seems like it sometimes, but I don't know. I kind of appreciate the effort here.
Hey, really? So how much effort did it take? 16 months.
You put it in the epoxy, you let it harden and dry, and then you put a camera on it. I mean, it takes 10 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe we don't have too much time.
Okay, the number 1 seed, which will win the tournament, and does not have a picture. I wish it did exist, but it does not, except for the machinations of this tournament. Number 1 seed is a machine that, in order to work, needs to be powered to victory in the tournament. And when powered, what it will do is it will launch Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Matthews into the sun.
Oh, fuck.
So the Jackson Mahomes / fiance launcher, which can only be powered if it wins the tournament, is the number one seed.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
That's a ethically questionable way of going about things, but because the end result would be perfect, I'm all for it.
I mean, the people will choose if they feel like they'd rather see something else go all the way, then that's their right. But they will deny the opportunity to shoot them into the sun. So,
I believe that's called leading the witness, Andy.
Yeah. It's maybe a little manipulative, but you know what? Like I said, sometimes the ends justify the means, so we'll go with it.
We'll see. Again, like we can take this up later if it's broken or something, you know. So the matchups will be.
See, Gary's already in. Would hate it if that was a dud. So, all right, there you go.
We'll see. So it'll be Jackson. The Mahomes launcher will be taking on Space Matt Damon's Shilling Jizz Coin. We'll have the epoxy sealed hot dog taking on taking on Cowboy Ronald McDonald. Hank the Tank / Hanks the Tank will take on Pulgasari. And the 1950s chimp pornographer will battle unexploded, unstable Russian ordnance.
I think that's got to be a great matchup there. But chimp pornographer, all right, that's it. That field is set. The field of 30
field
is set, guys. I think it's a very strong field. It's very reality based, which I like, and a lot of great matchups. And I don't know who the favorite is right now.
Yeah, I mean,
all of our number one seeds are pretty good.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Born Against Thanos.
Born Against Thanos is one of my favorites, man.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah.
I'm glad I found that at some point this year because it's just what inspired someone to do it. Who knows? But it lives in our lives now, so that's good.
It's gonna be a fine tournament.
I'm sending you my entrance and stuff on the board, Greg. So
okay,
have at it. So there's the GTOV stuff. I'm looking forward to see how that goes. But we are in a world now where no one's quite sure whether to say we're in World War III or if it's just another thing that's happening. But we're definitely. It's been a week. You know, it's been a weird few days.
Weird week.
You know,
sure.
I got to say, I really thought when the Soviet Union fell in, what was it, 89, 90, somewhere in there?
Yeah, 91.
I thought the idea of dying in a nuclear war pretty much ended with that. I just, some things you like to see come back as, you know, old school, retro, like the Creamsicle Bucks uniforms. That's a really cool thing to come back. Nuclear war, not so much.
No. It is really fascinating. It's been very actually, you know, and I think you could pick this up by some of our entries throughout this tournament that it's been kind of inspiring to see the degree to which Ukraine is holding Russia off in this. And
incredibly so.
Russia is kind of exposed themselves as maybe not the threatening military force we thought they were.
So that's what worries me, Mike, is that they clearly do not have the traditional military force to do anything. Then you take and you add a raging fucking lunatic as their leader who has access to the button. And I mean, I don't know if this guy will do it or not. I really kind of doubt it. But, you know, just the fact that I'm even thinking it might be a little bit possible is not a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like, not that, you know, I trust the nation of Russia as a whole, really. But you have to think that if it were to come down to him pressing the button, sending it at who exactly would be kind of the point at this point. Because it's not like nobody is directly in combat with him except for Ukraine. And his whole idea is that he wants to liberate the peoples of Ukraine. They're, you know, very
much don't seem to want to be liberated by Russia.
Right, exactly.
I've never seen people so against being liberated ever.
But like, I would have to think that if he wanted to do it, somebody at some point would finally be the person to be like, look, no.
I think that's how this ends, honestly. I mean, I don't know if they take him out, but I do think there will be a coup of some sort.
Apparently, from what I've heard, he's holed up in a literal Bond villain lair in the Ural Mountains. like with basically just his closest innermost circle. So
at the other end of a 20-foot table.
Yeah. And so I don't know what's going to happen. One would think that at a certain point, the generals and oligarchs, especially the oligarchs whose bottom line is being severely impacted by these sanctions, are going to decide that he's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that and like it seems that more so than any other time previously, the people of Russia are like, no, none of us want this, dude.
Well, you know, there's a thing like I mean, I'm not a warfare expert by any definition, but I think there's a resources versus will, and these things.
Exactly, yeah.
And like we saw it with them going into Afghanistan in 1980 or 79 or whenever it was. They had the resources, they didn't have the will. We saw it with ourselves, kind of with Iraq and maybe to a lesser extent Afghanistan. We had the resources, we didn't necessarily have the will.
Well,
it's a thing.
Russian morale
the same
very
way
low.
that, like, yeah, and it's the Americans going to Afghanistan or into Iraq is sort of similar to this in a way where you're going in. Our purpose is not to blow the whole thing away, because if we wanted to, or if they wanted to, they entirely could do that. But the idea is you're going in to, quote unquote, liberate these people. And at the end of the day, you still want a country to be there for them to live in or for you to make better. But you don't want to go in and bulldoze the whole thing. So you're kind of tippy-toeing around and not trying to use your full force. And so if you're somebody that's really trying to do it, like, you either have to be quick, swift, and precise like the Americans were in Iraq at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or you do what Russia's doing, where they just sort of are tiptoeing their way in there and not really putting their full force into it. And beyond that, it doesn't seem like they were all that prepared in the first place. So,
that vastly overestimated their own power.
Yeah. Overestimated their own power and overestimated the will of the opposing side. Because I think that they clearly thought that Ukraine was just going to be like, oh, either we welcome you in or we couldn't possibly stand up to you. So
right. Oh my God, it's Russia. We have to just stop. We can't do anything. And that's not at all what they got.
No, and it's the Russian military invasion has been.
Hold on a minute, Mike. How did Zach's trash pickup not make the GTOV?
Someday.
It's just an ever constant.
Okay, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Well,
it's the halftime show of each match of the tournament.
The Russian war effort has been really piss poor. They're already running out of gas.
Yeah.
You know, there are videos online. This is the first meme war, all right? And like, we are seeing on social media videos of Russians just leaving tanks on the sides of the roads because they ran out of gas. So there's logistics problems. They initiated a blitzkrieg without the necessary forces to actually do it. They only launched with one wave of troops, and a blitzkrieg is supposed to be 2 to 3 waves. They did not do that. They only launched with one wave, and apparently, there's this huge thing. Like, the Russians sent this huge force to capture Kiev. It didn't capture Kiev. It's just a line. They were driving in a straight line. Like, that is an ambusher's, defender's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw one of the CNN people that were out there. They went to that road, and there was just all these destroyed Russian trucks that were just, left there because they got shot at. They're sitting in a straight line.
I saw a video. I think it was on Twitter, where there was this Russian soldier that I don't think if his vehicle ran out of gas or he'd gotten lost from his unit or whatever. But he's sitting on the steps, and all these Ukraine people are just screaming at him, like, fuck off, get out of here, go home. And he's crying. I got news for you. If you can make them cry, that's. I don't think the Russian. I mean, I'm sure there are some Russian soldiers that are fully on board with this, because otherwise it would have never happened. But I think the bulk of them are just like, you know what, we've got to do this because I'll get shot by my superior and who knows whatever. But the
majority of Russian soldiers are basically 18 and 19-year-old conscripts.
Yeah,
who basically the way that it was explained is that Russia has large stretches of very poor areas, and for a lot of these kids with no prospects, it's like you get conscripted into the military and you get state housing, essentially. And that's what it, but like from what I can tell from all the reports I've seen, Russian, the morale is very low. They didn't expect resistance. They're getting resistance. It's not going well. They don't have logistical support. And on top of that, you look at what's been posted, you have captured Russians and they're carrying, well, I mean, it was one of Andy's glorious servant of victory entries. Yeah. It's like Soviet era equipment that pales in comparison to the equipment the West is giving Ukraine.
Hell, I saw one video of a Ukrainian man that had a landmine. He picked it up, walked it like across a road and like deep into the forest, and just got rid of it because he was able to. Like, this is just a normal person, not a bomb diffuser or a landmine like drone. A normal human was able to be like, "Oh shit, we should get this mine away from something before somebody does something stupid with it."
Yeah, well, my post was my entry was inspired by a Ukrainian resident, civilian, who had a janky, shitty Scud missile blow into his apartment and just lodge in the wall and ceiling.
And it didn't blow up.
No, it's just some old trash that like clearly. Well,
was that the video of the missile, or are you talking about like I read something where like one of these jets discarded like an ammunition case and that's what hit a house?
I mean, it was definitely it was not just some like chassis. It was a live like an actual fucking bomb. I'll see if I can find the thing. And
I mean that happens with any kind of weaponry, but I think this is twice now in my life that the mighty Russians, Mother Russia, whatever this is now, and then the Soviet Union prior to that, where they were kind of exposed as like, you're kind of a paper tiger, like we were scared to death of you for what? And
well, that's kind of the whole like symphony of this thing is that it is mutually, like, as I've talked to my wife and friends and stuff about this, it's this whole endeavor is sucks because people have died, people are still going to die and give their lives and all this stuff in the Ukraine, but the outcome will most likely be, hopefully, that Russian people are it's like they're basically challenging their own government, saying you can't arrest all of us and we don't want to do this shit, like we don't want to have anything to do with it. Europe is like, the EU is coming together so strong.
The EU is coming together. Sweden and Sweden and Finland want to join NATO now. I saw something, it was hilarious. It was like Putin has killed
Switzerland.
Yeah,
Switzerland. That's right, Switzerland. Yeah,
Putin has killed Swiss neutrality and German pacifism in one weekend.
And like the last time Switzerland wasn't neutral was like early 1800s.
I was going to say like in the year 1238 or something.
It was the Napoleonic War was the last time Switzerland wasn't neutral.
Well, that's later than I thought it would. I was like 1106.
They would have remained neutral, but Napoleon invaded them anyway, so they didn't really have a choice.
Well, but again, that goes to the whole message of like ultimately the world, the contemporary world we're in. This is despite what the internet has done in some ways to like really polarize American politics and kind of trains of thought, ultimately there are a wealth of ideas, and everything is too decentralized in terms of like individual personalities and what creature comforts we have, that you can't just simply say like, I am the great leader, you are my great people, go attack this country without any reason. Now people are like, no, I would like to live. Fuck you.
Yeah, wars like this are not how things get done anymore.
No, I've got Andy's Sad Sims I need to watch here, man. I don't have fucking
yeah.
People just don't go in and take over countries anymore. Like that's not how this shit works.
That's like so 1978, man. Come on, get with
it. So I don't know. It
says something that like no one except for Belarus is helping Russia.
Well, fuck, isn't Belarus?
Kazakhstan's like
Aren't they?
Russia asked Kazakhstan to send troops, and Kazakhstan's like, nah, man, that's not our
I just want to imagine what happened. Did Putin call up the president of Kazakhstan and just get an answering machine of Borat?
Hello, this is Kazakhstan Army Forces. This is my neighbor, Vladimir. He is an asshole.
Well, the Belarus. Okay, so the whole thing of Belarus is, and I've said this elsewhere.
Belarus is a mess in its own. Yeah.
Look, every Hitler needs his Mussolini. All right, and if Putin wants to play Hitler, then I guess Lukashenko is going to be his Mussolini. And it's like after Ukraine has held off Russia, it's like breaking Belarus going to send soldiers. It's like, oh no.
Right.
Belarus, everyone stand back.
Stand back, California. Wyoming's on the way.
and it's like this whole thing is fucking insane. Russia's become completely isolated. Their banks have been cut off from everything. The ruble's in the trash. And not only that, but the glorious Russian army, being exposed as a paper tiger right next door has got to have an effect on people who maybe felt, people in Russia who maybe felt that, Putin's regime was too strong to topple. Well, now it's not.
Here's my question.
Yeah, I just hope that message is getting to the people because
that's the thing.
I mean, media there, right?
I would advise everyone, no matter which. I can't imagine you'd be on the side of the Russians, but if you are, okay, fine. But
there's some dumb people, Greg, as we've learned this week.
Well, we know that. But, well, no, what I'm saying though, is like look.
Fuck's sake, Tucker Carlson.
They're really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. But anyway,
why do I hate Vladimir Putin? He never did anything to me.
Well, okay, I can make that same argument, but you know what? It's not just about what he did to me.
He hasn't tried to cancel me.
This is like
he
the
hasn't taken away
thing.
my job.
I should have an Olympic gold medal too because I played as much hockey as he did, or whatever it was.
It's just not even worth listening to. So
anyway, the point I was going to make is that, and I think that for those of you that were around for the invasion of Iraq back in 2003, everything that you see, regardless of where it's coming from, double check it because you just don't know what is real.
Fog of war.
Yeah, right. And
well, it's even more crazy now because we didn't have social media back then, at least not like this.
No, and you know what? I kind of wish we had it back then because maybe we would have avoided all that nonsense. I'm not a big fan of war under any circumstances, but
I saw a thing today that the Russian state media site preemptively posted a declaration of victory over Ukraine before having to take it down. Somebody pressed. They have this all written up already, ready to go. But somebody pressed the button and posted it for like 5 minutes. And it was like, oh,
is this like when the Chargers fired off their fireworks for a missed game-winning field goal?
Similar,
pretty much.
But yeah, and another thing, kind of going into it is like the Russians say that they want to denazify Ukraine. Ukraine's got a Jewish president.
Yeah, it's
whose grandfather died in the Holocaust.
Like, you know how many Jewish Nazis? Come on, man. That's the reality, dude.
The joke I heard is that I was talking about that on another platform, and some fucking mouth breather replied, "No, he is a Nazi. He was a puppet put in by Obama." And I just replied, "Yes, damn those Black and Jewish Nazis!" Like, just
like that's again. And I think here in America, we do have, obviously we're politically divided even in the show a little bit, but the nature of the beast has been to like demonize the other side. To an extent, to where it's like, oh, if you're a Republican, if you're a conservative, you're a Nazi. Whereas, like, there is some merit in regards to that argument because there are plenty of pictures of and media of people who tie themselves to the right and conservatives, and literally, wearing swastikas and doing the Roman salute or whatever. But that's different than Russia going to Ukraine and saying we want to get rid of all Nazis. It's like we do too.
What,
It's like, well,
what?
you are run by Nazis. You are Nazis. Like we literally we're not. What do you want? But we want to get rid of those Nazis. What the hell do you want from us? We can't. They're Nazis here. They're not here. Go away. It's just like, how can you convince them otherwise? It's just it's a lost reality. They don't live in the same reality. If their own propaganda, they've eaten it and digested it completely.
Well, the interesting thing is, and again, all of this with a grain of salt, but the stories I've heard is that apparently Putin he purged any advisor who gave him honest info years ago.
That's a great move.
And basically, he has been dealing with nothing but yes men for years now.
Really?
And as a result, he's started to fully buy into his own propaganda about Ukraine.
Here's Mike Walker. He's a military guy, and he's saying
Mike Walker. Great post by Mike Walker here. Anyone who watched how the Russians performed in Chechnya and Georgia shouldn't be surprised that they fell apart like the funding for a Coyotes arena.
He would know. He knows this stuff. So I don't know, man. It's you got to wonder though, how many podcasts can do the bracket to the glorious tournament of victory, and on a dime turn and talk about this.
But you know what's cool though?
Kind of entertainment for anywhere for that kind of money.
I mean that is awesome. But you know what has been really nice? We've been through 5-6 years now of just this ceaseless back and forth on American politics and constant disagreements and bickering and arguing, and just it sucks so much ass, and it'll still continue. But for at least now a week or so, there has been some pretty obvious common ground, people who are very far on the right, and it's a common enemy, and it's nice to start to see a lot of people, regardless of their personal politics about America, say yeah, fuck what Russia's doing, fuck that. It's just nice. Well, it's nice to come together a little bit.
It's nice, and that kind of has had a global effect. Yes. You could say to a degree that Putin revitalized NATO.
Yeah. He's definitely switching the European Union. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I mean, NATO was a thing that was looking for a reason to exist several years ago, and now it's oh no, we still have very much a purpose. And it's
Sweden,
that crazy guy over there.
Sweden and Finland have asked to join NATO. Russia threatened them militarily. At this point, if I were Sweden, I'd go, do you have enough gas to get to Sweden?
Here's one for you, Gary. Michigan still sucks. How's that for a sports take? Okay, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
What's all right? Hey, what's going better? Which is going better? Russia's attack to take over Ukraine, or Major League Baseball and the Players Union reaching an agreement?
Oh my God! Apparently, they're negotiating through the night tonight.
You know what? Zach brought up a great point in our text thread the other day. See, we're going to switch gears immediately, and we just slammed it into reverse at 90 miles an hour. But that's fine. Zach brought up a good point. Who needs it? When we reach the point where I don't give a fuck if they play or not, me, the baseball, I was pimping baseball for the first 9 years of the show, and I don't fucking care. So do what you want, baseball. I don't give a shit. That's the way I feel.
Well,
I don't know. Again, it's more. We usually speak in these terms about the National Hockey League only in the NHL kind of sense, only the goddamn NHL. Yeah. But Major League Baseball, when it really wants to, can get in its own way like nobody else.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. They're trying to grow the game. That was the whole impetus over the last several years, and when they reach this point where you just came off a World Series, nobody gave two damns about, not even a little bit. Do you ever remember who played in the World Series? Honestly, because I had to think about it the other day.
It took me. I just
Braves and
Astros.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. When you brought it up, I was like, "Oh, the Dodgers won last year." I'm like, "No, that's not right."
Fucking poor Atlanta fans are just like, "We exist. We have teams."
God damn it!
Like, I can tell you who played in last year's NBA Finals quicker than I could tell you who played in the World Series.
I honest to God, I had because of COVID, I got the MLB.TV thing for free. All right, and I had obviously the World Series of playoffs. If I watched, from beginning of the season to the very last out, if you put it all together, I doubt it's a 9-inning game. That's how much baseball I watched last year. You want to grow the game, make it fucking watchable again, and quit.
And that's bullshit. They've been trying to work on it with like trying to try out these rule changes and trying to do whatever. And now they get to a point where they have to actually do some hard negotiating about the finances of the game and how it works. And they're just uncommitted to do anything about it. Just stuck.
So I take it.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so I take it none of you guys are rushing out to get your Major League Baseball 2022 spring training caps?
No.
I honestly can't believe they're like literally they said if
to release them.
It's almost like they're like going, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Here, buy a hat. It's like, no, take a drink, boys. Fuck off. I'm not buying your hat.
Well, so these came out on the mothership. Posted them on Friday. Is that right?
Yeah.
Saturday. They came out on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we already knew that if there wasn't an agreement in place by the end of today, that they're going to start canceling regular season games. And apparently the MLB side of negotiations said that they're willing and ready to cancel up to a month's worth of games.
Good.
Fucking cancel it all for all I care.
Yeah.
Really.
So it's just
two things here. First thing, Greg, when you said because of COVID, I got, and my mind went to, I was trying to complete your thought. What you said, I got COVID. I got the MLB package or whatever. And what in my mind, I said brain fog. Like it sounded like you had gotten COVID and got brain fog and couldn't remember who was in the World Series.
I couldn't remember who was in the World Series because I don't give a shit. That's right. I remember.
But in my mind, I was like, oh, Greg got brain fog. Oh no.
Thank God. And my 3 vaccines, I have not gotten COVID. So I mean, maybe I didn't know it, but as far as I know, I've never had it. No.
The other thing is that this is in a great way, in some ways, potentially very opportune, not for Major League Baseball ownership, but for just the sport in general, to showcase that, if you start the season like the last week of May, maybe the first week of June, like I think that's actually pretty good. Like I don't think people really need to watch April and early May baseball. It's not that great. It's cold.
No,
it's unentertaining.
It also doesn't really fucking matter.
No.
It does and it doesn't. I mean, there's teams that will lose a playoff berth by a game that lost a game in April they could have won, but that's beside the point. Andy's right. We don't need 106. Look, if you're going to make us watch fucking paint dry, at least shorten the amount of time we have to watch it. That's all I'm saying. It's just, it's. They keep talking about they want to fix the game. They want to fix the time. There's this a pitch clock would do wonders. First off. And secondly, there are rules in place to enforce that all you've got to do, it'll speed things up. Quit letting these fuckers step out of the box and walk halfway down the third baseline in between every pitch. Come on. It's just,
but like in terms of what they're actually arguing about, generally speaking, I think fans will take the side of the players in a lot of these things. And to a degree, it's harder with baseball because the guys that are negotiating are the millionaires fighting billionaires, that whole thing. But the players are literally just asking for a salary floor and to raise the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part, that's like the main two tenets that they want. And so the players come in like, hey, we want a $200,000 raise to the minimum. And the owners are like, let's see, let me reach into my pocket, see if I can, is $10,000 enough? And it's like, no.
The salary floor, everybody says that baseball needs a salary cap. And I've always argued, no, what it needs is a salary floor where you have to spend this much money no matter what. Because we've seen it. I mean, with like teams like the Rays for years before they finally got good, like, the Marlins, the fucking,
even when the Rays are good, they still don't spend
right
nearly enough.
The Royal, the Indians, or excuse me, the Guardians are doing it. They've been, it's like
the A's are the team right now that I think has the lowest.
Yeah, but like they build up the farm system with picks and stuff. They give away. It's a cycle that never ends, which is fine. But if you put a salary floor in place, that at least means that you cannot go out there and just intentionally try not to be competitive, like we saw the Astros do. What was it, 5, 6, 8 years ago? Remember how bad they were before they got good? Because they were just like, fuck it, we're not going to bother. Bring up the AA and AAA guys. That's going to be our team, and we'll see what happens. And it worked out, but nobody wants to pay to watch that. I mean, at least you got to put in some sort of effort, and I think the salary floor is the answer to that.
Well, guys, you can these 2022 spring training caps, $44 a piece. So get yours today.
Take a drink.
$44
off.
By the way, while you mention them again, quickly on the design of these stupid things, some interesting logos, but I'm not paying $45 for a trucker hat. Screw off with all this mesh. Like literally, this is a hat that they should have made 20 years ago when trucker hats were cool,
or at least charge $20 for it, whatever.
Yeah, the fact that 2/3 of this hat is mesh is just
not only terrible. That, but the Guardians, with an opportunity to use the gas station logo, just went with that stupid C. So fuck them again. I just don't care. I mean, I wish I could get more fired up about baseball, but I won't even miss it. And you know what? If I really want to watch, I'll go watch a minor league game. Simple as that.
And I said this to my girlfriend when we were driving around the other day talking about this. And you guys have heard me say it on the show before that I want to care about baseball. I truly actually do.
So
despite my protests against it and saying that I don't really give a damn, I wish I could care. I want to care about baseball during the summer. I want to care about the Angels. I want to know what's going on day to day. I want to know talk about the pitching rotations. I want to do all these things, but the game has not done enough over the past 10 years at minimum to entice me in any way to try to support this, especially the Angels, and they have their own special problems. But the baseball as a whole, the only time I watched every game of a World Series recently was the Cubs Indians one because of the historical reasons for it all.
Sure.
But otherwise, I want to care, but I turn on a baseball game and 5 minutes later I'm already like, all right, what else am I doing? Because
it's a nap sport.
Not interesting.
You put it on, you take a nap, and you wake up, and maybe the game's still going, maybe it's not.
You wake up, you put on something else.
But that's and that is sort of the beauty of the game of baseball, is that it's while you're in an industrial and fast commercial world, baseball is slow and deliberate, and But the thing is with baseball now, it's gotten to the point to where the slowness isn't charming anymore. It's
excruciating.
It's exploited by teams to try and get every bit of minutia out of wasting that time as possible. And I don't know, but the thing they're focusing on for whatever reason is the stupid playoff format. I don't know why these ideas are terrible. Just terrible.
When you sent that the other day, my head exploded.
Fucking Rosenthal couldn't parse what the situation would be. He's trying to provide a scenario, and he's like, "Wait, I'm sorry, I meant to say this." It's just like you.
So for people that hadn't heard it, I guess the idea is division winners in the first round would only have to win 3 games?
2, right?
2 games.
If you get
the wild card, but the wild card teams would need to win 3 games.
Right.
Basically, the lower seeded team would need to win an extra game to advance than the higher seeded team would.
In a nutshell, they basically turned it into a fucking double elimination softball tournament that you see in every.
Sure.
I mean, not really, but it's as stupid as that. It's
Are they still trying to trot out that stupid rule about this team can pick pick their opponent?
Yeah, I think that was suggested, but I don't know if that was actually implemented.
That's the thing too. If you let's say that we'll use the Braves as an example because I guess they won the World Series last year.
Rumor is.
Right. Well, let's say that they win the division that they're in again, right? And their choices are the 74 win Pirates, the 76 win Diamondbacks. And they go, we'll take the Pirates because fuck them. That's why. And the Pirates go, screw you. And all of a sudden we've got a beanball war going on here because the Pirates are pissed off because their 74 wins didn't impress the Braves sufficiently or whatever. It's the dumbest thing. Baseball, you know what? When you're in a hole, stop digging. It's like you keep trying to fix shit that isn't broken and you're breaking things that are, it's just, oh my God, just stop. Just stop. Make me the commissioner. I'll fix it in 20 minutes.
Like we're going to lose
again for a sport that depends so much. Not depends, but thrives on attendance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the last 2 years have been rough for many other reasons, but you would think that the idea would be to try to fill up the stadiums again and get people excited for the game. And they're doing everything they can to make that not happen.
Yeah,
I would be very
wild to me.
I'd be very surprised if Rob Manfred is going to last too much longer after this thing, especially if it costs part of a season. I mean, somebody's got to be the sacrifice, and he's been a fucking disaster.
I mean, you would think that, but Gary Bettman's presided over 3-4 work stoppages.
Yeah, and how long was Bud Selig in place? I mean, I don't think Selig was anywhere near. I mean, he wasn't great, but Jesus, at least.
Selig had a season like stop, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, for all of Bettman's flaws, he's never called the Stanley Cup a piece of metal. You know, like he's never diminished.
True.
He's never diminished the trophy, the championship trophy. Like, and you know, I mean, he does have a little bit of personality. He's a natural heel. You know, whereas Rob Manfred is just like a cinder block in a suit who comes out there and mopily just mutters garbage. And it's almost like, who the hell put this guy in charge? Like, why is this dud out here trying to, you know, lawyer baseball? And
because he does the bidding of the owners would be my guess. I mean,
that's every owner in sports.
Yeah, but it used to be way back in the day. It was like a guy like Peter Ueberroth came in. And they were like, "Well, he'll be our guy." You know, he was like, "Fuck no, we're going to fix this," and he did a great job. That was like the only commissioner.
The first commissioner of baseball, Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
I'm a goddamn mountain. The DH though is certainly going to be league wide now.
I don't care. I used to be like, no, keep it. I don't give fuck it, whatever. You know what? Let's have like football and baseball. We'll have specialists.
Yeah.
You're a defensive guy. You're an offensive guy.
Well, so the way the game has been played in modern times, like just the way it works now, just do it.
Well, it was like interleague used to be a special thing, and now it's like, no, it's just the schedule, you know.
Every
like
day.
The National League just being difficult for the sake of being difficult at this point.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it really. I mean, as much as I would love to see like it go back to no DH, that's never going to happen, and I'm aware of that. But yeah, the National League was just being the National League just because they wanted to be the National League, and then we got the interleague daily thing because they split the leagues into two equal, like 15 and 15.
Uneven. So you have to have one every day. Yeah.
I mean, I remember it was when it first started, it was really cool, and it stayed cool for a while, and then you know, like they were doing the divisional thing like football does, and that was kind of neat, where you get every year. Like we get the NL West, and we could see the Dodgers and whoever else in the division.
It was cool because it was limited to like 2 weeks in the middle of the season.
Right. Yeah.
Now
it's like you can go see God, there we go again. The Guardians play like the Angels, and the following week go watch the Guardians play the Dodgers or the Giants, and then it's whatever. I don't care.
Speaking of the Guardians, I will say that I do enjoy the full, like the cap, the squished C. I'm warming up to it. You know, I saw it the other day on their store, and was like, you know, it's not
terrible.
Bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The blue bill, it works a lot better. But yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to getting used to calling them the Guardians, because as you can see twice now, I've just gone to the default team that they used to be, but it's gonna take a while to get rid of all that habit. It's gonna have to break for a while.
Do you guys think that the Marlins will be rebranded again now that Jeter's out?
I mean, look, I think we all said that Jeter was gonna fail in this, and well, that happened.
Well,
does this mean that they get to put the statue back in?
Yeah,
well, I hope. He came in and he was like, I want to make this team as dull and boring as I am. And he succeeded. Nice job. He made the horrible uniforms, took away the only cool thing in that whole stadium besides the fish tank, which I don't think they use anymore.
And they still suck.
Yeah. Good job. Way to go.
I wonder if he's going to leave a fruit basket in his office as he departs. In like a chlamydia test kit or something.
Oh God! I hope the Marlins rebrand. I'm still
the prior look. I thought that was fine. It was goofy and it was perfect for Miami. Come on.
I'm looking forward to being able to buy a Cleveland Guardians hat for the winged G.
Hell yeah, man.
That's gonna be so tacky. I
Go
can't
gas
wait.
stations.
Exactly.
What the G stands for is the gas stations.
Well, we're in kind of that weird dead zone now of sports where, the Super Bowl is over. We're all kind of waiting for, I guess, the draft. I guess.
Yeah, the combines this weekend.
I tried watching some NBA the other night.
As a free agency starts in a couple, 10 days. Something.
Well, did anyone see that crazy Maple Leafs Red Wings game?
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
Maple Leafs bested the Red Wings 10-7.
Oh, nice defensive battle. I like those.
It wasn't even but it's not just that. The Leafs were up 5-1, and then they were up 7-2, and then the Red Wings cut it down to 8-7. The Leafs, who were winning the majority of the game, they were the ones that replaced their goaltender. And then they ended up winning 10-7.
Both teams replaced their goalies. 4 goalies played in this game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
I watched some hockey the other night, too. The Rangers were on against Washington. I watched some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up to the trade deadline in 2 weeks or so.
Speaking of Washington, Ovechkin, very quiet about his Putin love lately. So,
they made him do the walk. He sat out and did a press conference and gave as short of a non-answer as he could. He said somebody eventually asked the question in a way that got him to say, "Yes, no more war, peace, please. We don't want war." But he's like, somebody was like, "Oh, do you still support Vladimir Putin?" He's like, "Well, it's like I'm Russian, right? And he's my president, so we just I'm not a politic. I'm an athlete.
I'm not a
Is that a rule over there?"
Oh God.
So yeah, well, we've got I don't know what we got coming up actually.
We got a while before any sort of playoffs begin. I don't know.
I guess the only other news that we have is more uniform stuff, where it seems like a lot of the throwback uniforms that we thought we were going to get next season in the NFL are all going to have to wait because Nike can't make the uniforms in time due to global supply chain issues.
Oh, okay. I guess that's fair. That seems to be affecting everybody. So
it's because it seems like there's a lot of teams that were ready to go when they said, "Hey, you can have an alternate helmet now in 2022," but it seems like a lot of those alternates are now going to, or at least the throwbacks might have to hold off for a year because of they can't make them ready for the season or enough to sell and all that.
I think we're going to have enough to talk about. We've got the Glorious Tournament of Victory coming up. We've been discussing another draft afterwards.
And the USFL, guys.
And again, we might devote some time to talk about the Batman.
Yeah, I want to hear your review, Zach. I'm gonna try and see if I can get tickets for later this week.
I was able to get one of the early screenings, so going on Wednesday evening.
That's a long movie too.
It is a lot of Batman. 3 full hours.
Wow.
I sincerely hope that they have managed to fill those 3 hours with stuff that's not just going to be seeing his parents get shot again.
I hope we don't see that again. But the early rumblings are that we might have something to cook with here on our hands. But I haven't read too much about it. I don't want to
drop him into the middle of kicking the shit out of somebody and let's just roll from there. We don't need to fucking see the origin story again, really. Come on. Ever since we've done the Ukraine thing, we've gotten quite a lot of Russian bots popping in here.
The robots work for free, Greg. That's what's going on.
I'm really hoping that I've read some really concerning stuff, I guess, about people who have already said, Paul Dano like he like got in a really dark place and like
They do
almost
that with
lost
all
his
the guys
mind.
that play the Batman villains, though. It's
Right,
like,
but
Fuck off.
But
Sorry.
it was reserved for the Joker performers, you know, and it changes you. But it's like the Riddler, the last fucking Riddler was Jim Carrey, and he was just
right, but it seems like this Riddler is specifically based on like the Zodiac killer.
Yeah,
But I mean, like,
which to be honest, I kind of dig that idea.
no,
So
and I'm all down for that. But the thing is, the marketing for it is almost like just because Heath Ledger died, he didn't die because he played the Joker.
Yeah.
He had other things going on and accidentally killed himself with some medication.
Heath Ledger played the Joker, and then he fucking died the day they wrapped shooting. That's
Yeah, he didn't.
didn't.
It's not like Batman stabbed him with a batarang or something. This is some actor and he OD'd. Like, and then of course they had the whole bullshit with Jared Leto just fabricating his own mythos about.
Well, to be fair, nobody liked that.
No, not even Will Smith, as we went over. Will Smith fucking hated him. Like, it was the whole thing of like
Will Smith hated it, and like I think that's like the one modern Joker portrayal that everyone has like universally hated was Jared Leto's Joker.
I am proud to say I've never seen it. The Jared Leto Joker. I've never seen it.
You're better for it.
Yeah,
you're better for it, right?
Gary brings up an interesting point here that the Olsen twins, because wasn't Heath Ledger in a relationship with one of them?
I don't know.
The conspiracy.
Don't know.
He was the Dark Knight the last movie that he did, or did he like do another movie that never got?
He did another one.
Yeah, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which is just weird.
Right.
Yeah. Well, But you know, and again, I understand that like there's method acting and all that stuff, but for really, it took you to a dark place. You're playing a fucking cartoon character, basically a comic book character. Excuse me. I mean, come on, give me a break. You know, it's just. I'm sorry. I just.
It's lazy hype. You know,
yeah, I mean, I went to a dark place. Well, I don't give a fuck. Were you good?
They always do this shill level marketing for movies. I remember when the all women's Ghostbusters movie came out, and they tried to sell us on the idea that's like we hired an MIT grad to make sure that ghostbusting was grounded in science.
Okay.
I also read a terrible take the other day about Ghostbusters. There's somebody was saying like it's time we had a dark, gritty Ghostbusters movie.
Why?
No,
fuck no.
It's like what you have completely lost everything that is like Ghostbusters. You've lost the trail. If you do that, you've utterly destroyed all of what Ghostbusters is and never was. And I haven't seen the new one. I heard it's fine.
I enjoyed it.
But
I've heard it's okay. You know what I think they should start doing is like let's go the other direction instead of making like the dark gritty Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remake or Ghostbusters. Let's go the other direction. Let's take the Dark Knight and make it a fucking comedy. What do you say?
The dark and gritty Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remake is fucking hilarious.
Is it?
I
haven't seen it yet.
Can't take my time to even like think about that.
Hilarious in ways it was not intended to be hilarious because it's like you're really going hard on this idea that I should take Carlton, seriously as a dramatic character, aren't you? Okay.
I didn't watch much of the Fresh Prince, so I mean I kind of know the characters. I know what was it, Aunt Viv and
Aunt Viv, Uncle Phil, Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton, yeah.
But, now they made sexy Uncle Phil.
Yeah, no, Uncle Phil not being a fat giant is so disconcerting because like every time the new kid who they have playing Will Smith like is like, "Hey, Uncle Phil," I'm like, "That's not Uncle Phil."
Man,
Uncle Phil's a giant fat man.
Yeah, TV needs to restore the variety of body shapes. I mean, like, nothing was ever wrong with a fat person being a lead or a like main first billing character. Like, I miss the day of when a guy, maybe was a little big.
No, or how like
I need the gritty reboot of Fat Albert called Slim Al, right?
or hell, do you think you'd ever see? I guess maybe an Always Sunny in Philadelphia counts, but outside of that, are you ever going to get a TV character that looks like George Costanza again?
I think we need a gritty. Oh, go ahead.
And say it would be ironic. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like a natural, like. it wouldn't be because of his comedy or the bit or the fit of the actor or the character. It would be like, oh, we're going to make this character bald because we need to make the main character's hair look better or something, something like that.
Yeah, you would think too that like with the way things, I mean, because people like the fat shaming is a thing now and all that, which I agree with, but you would think it would have gone the other direction. Like we would have more variety in the looks of our characters and stuff, but it seems like it's kind of gone the other way a little bit.
Model.
Well, Gary says just have this Uncle Phil play a new Shredder and call it a day. Then maybe Sexy Phil will be accepted.
You know what I want? I want a gritty remake of Gilligan's Island.
Well,
or
how about
it was called Lost. I'm sorry, never mind.
Yeah, no, they did that. How about how about let's pull from the same time period as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, gritty reboot of Carissa Explains It All. Yeah.
Here's one. How about this? How about the gritty remake of the Brady Bunch? How fucking dark could you get with that? I mean, really?
Oh my god,
that would be so just twisted. It'd be sad.
Another one I heard was a gritty remake of The Cosby Show that leans into what we know about Bill Cosby now. He just goes to his wife, like, "Is your sister? She's staying with us this weekend, right?" Yes, Cliff. Why do you ask? No reason.
Have her meet me in my downstairs office.
Yeah. Put some jazz on and we'll drink some Kool-Aid.
Right. He'd have all of his drugs right there because he's a doctor. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh god.
That's what that's what our next draft should be. Didn't you suggest having like a draft of 90s TV shows or something like that?
That was just my loose suggestion. Yeah.
I'm down for that.
That are like TV characters. We'd have to kind of probably limit it to era.
That's the thing. You have to, if it comes to movies or TV shows or something, you really got to limit the range. But I mean, if you guys, I'm open to suggestions. If you have an idea for the draft, it doesn't need to be, because last year was helmets, and before that was candy. So fair game. It's all on the table.
I'm down for like, I guess 90s TV shows or whatever.
Gritty reboot of Knight Rider.
Gritty reboot of Knight Rider. They tried to do that.
We do nothing but gritty reboots.
They tried to do the gritty reboot of Knight Rider.
Yeah, they did, right?
Like 10 years ago or something. Yeah, it didn't work.
But did they make Sexy Kit?
I don't know, but Dennis makes a good point here that Marie McCormick and Barry Williams from the Brady Bunch actually hooked up in real life. So if we did the gritty remake, you really get fucked up. Twisted shit going on.
I just think that maybe we should
relocate them to West Virginia, but whatever.
Maybe we should just, I don't know, have original ideas from now on.
And not just desperately try to revive shows that have long been dead.
I'm sure there's people out there that have an idea or two.
We just gave you like 25. There you go.
Well, the problem is with original ideas, they're not all that original. Like, there's some shitty Queen Latifah show out there.
I understand. They're all tropes and whatever, but like, there's no reason that the gritty reboot or the Prince of Bel-Air gritty reboot couldn't have been called anything else or been about anybody else. You could have just called it whatever the hell you wanted. It didn't need to be the Prince of Bel-Air.
The Queen Latifah show is actually a remake, Andy.
It is? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, the Equalizer, yeah.
In terms of an original idea, right. In terms of an original idea, there's what is it, La Brea?
Oh, La Brea?
La Brea, where they where the sinkhole opens up in LA and it sends everyone to prehistoric dinosaur times.
That's basically Lost in Los Angeles is essentially what it is.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen it, and the ending is fucking bonkers.
Like in a good way or in a funny way?
Well, I don't think any of you guys care about spoilers, so I'll just go into it.
Right.
So there's a family of four that's the main focus of the show. It's a husband, a wife, and they have 2 kids, a son and a daughter. Mother and son fall into the sinkhole to go to prehistoric times.
Okay.
Father and daughter are back on Earth, like our reality. And so the father's not in the pit, but he starts having like visions of where his wife and son are, and he can't figure out why. And then
they fell in the pit.
Well, but he doesn't know what's in the pit, though, is the thing. Nobody knows that it goes to prehistoric times or whatever. they find on the Land of the Lost side of this thing, the people find a caveman society. And one of the caveman children gets transported to Earth through a time loop and ends up becoming the lead character's husband through like time paradoxes.
This all sucks ass. I hate it. It's Encino Man kind of like meets what's that show that's on Netflix, the steamy like time travel show where everyone fucks, and Outlander. It's like Outlander.
Yeah.
They do this whole thing where like all of these survivors from our world are interacting with the caveman society, and this one caveman kid, gets along with the main woman's son, and they're forming a bond, and then like the caveman kid gets sucked through a time portal and it pops him out in like 1980s LA, and he grows up to become her future husband, who then is, so that's why he knows what's going on, because it's like time loop shit, and it's the most awesome
he remembers it because he was wow. You know what?
Well, here's the thing. Somehow, after getting transported to our reality in like the 80s and then growing up and having a whole life, he apparently developed amnesia and can't remember his childhood from caveman world.
Oh, Jesus. Listen here, Barney, I can't have you going around Mayberry and start shooting people. Well, I gotta load my gun. I gotta take out my angst on those school kids. I'm gonna blow them the hell away.
They'd be the black school kids, of course. Oh.
You make sure to get them black school kids now, Barney. I don't want you to decent white folk here in Mayberry.
Wow. I went to read something on a different page for a minute.
Well, it's blame Dennis. It's his idea.
Right, he's more like
Dennis wants the racist version of the racist gritty reboot of Andy Griffin.
He's been talking about how Greg and Marsha were step siblings on the Brady Bunch, so it's okay.
Well, I think the GTOV selection show has gone long.
I'm saying is I'm all for giving Dennis control of all future network television projects.
Somebody who the whole created network right now, get them on the phone and give this guy a job.
Or when we say gritty reboots, why don't we just reboot these shows with the lead character played by Gritty?
I like
it. Yeah, I'm down for that. Sure.
Instant improvement. Yeah.
In a way, Gritty was the Gritty reboot of the mascot world.
Yeah.
Well, chaos kind of way. Yeah.
His backstory included parental abuse.
Now we've reached Gritty reboot of Leave It to Beaver.
Hey, Zach. Zach is gone next week. He's in Disney World, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I expect a full report, including a roster of the weirds that you encounter while you're there.
I'll try to keep track of it with my phone.
So are we extending voting? Are we extending week one of the voting by week then? Or are we just going to vote and document it as normal?
Yeah, just do it as normal.
Yeah, I'll post everything tomorrow, the voting links and all that on the Twitter feed and on the boards. And we will vote right up until Sunday, the Sunday night before the next show.
Sounds good.
The next round and so on and so forth. And, it'll all go down in history as the greatest thing ever, blah, blah, blah. And here we are. So,
And I'll either come back the following Monday, fresh off of my first day back at work, or jury duty, which I won't know until Friday. So that'll be fun.
Fun.
Yeah, it's one of those where you have to call in and see if they need you on the following Monday.
If they try to make you come in, just say you want to hang someone. They'll let you go.
Just call into the show from the Ustream link from your phone. Just leave the mic on. We'll just listen to the case. And
they can listen to us, and that'll get you out of jury duty real quick.
My grandfather always says that I should go in there whenever they ask me a question. Just say I don't trust those people, or I don't like. And it's just like,
oh no!
It's like no, I physically cannot do that. So,
well then.
All right.
Yeah. My grandfather's a great guy. Don't get me wrong, but he says no. Just pretend to be racist, and it's like
he right. I mean,
he knows how to game the system.
You know what though? I got to think that like in those the judges and the lawyers, they've heard it all. So you could walk in.
Oh, they can see through it. Yeah. No, I tried one time to be like, no. I only trust police officers. My stepfather's a police officer. I would never disobey the police. The police are above all. And they're like, oh, great, you'd be perfect for this. And it's like, oh, God damn it.
Shit.
All right.
Well, enjoy your trip. Safe travels.
Although, have fun.
Yeah. It'll be hopefully I don't think it's supposed to be too bad down there weather-wise, but
not at this time of year. It should be fine. It should be really good.
Be Florida.
Be sure to pour one out for our beloved Apollos while you're there.
The thing I'm going to try to make a point of is I need to find Orlando Solar Bears merch.
Oh, that'll be easy.
I love the Solar Bears logo.
Speaking of the notorious Route 4, the arena's right off of it. So I don't know if they might have a store there, but yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go out of my way, but if it's like at the airport or at the Disney Springs shopping mall thing,
I'm trying to remember if it's at the airport. I think they have a store in the airport.
They might.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I mean I fly out of there a couple times and they got a couple cool stores in there actually, surprisingly. So yeah, have fun and we'll reconvene and do this all again next week. Follow us on Twitter for the GTOV voting links and all the other good stuff and all that.
Sounds good.
And subscribe Apple Podcast or whatever. Was that what it's called? Maybe I do have foggy brain. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, the YouTubes, wherever fine podcasting is sold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We will see you all next week.
Later.
Adios.